Welcome to the Spiritual and Cosmic podcast of Lady D, the podcast where the mystical meets every day. I'm your host, Lady D, psychic, medium, astrologer, spiritual guide, and cosmic truth teller. Each week we'll dive into real talk about living in a spiritual life in a human world. The good, the bad, the beautiful, the messy, and in between. From psychic insights, astrology breakdowns, to soulful chats and cosmic truths. This is your sacred space to awaken, expand, and keep it 100% real. So grab your crystals, open your heart, and let's get spiritual and cosmic. Hi everybody, and welcome back to Spiritual and Cosmic with Lady D. I'm so excited here because this month we are entertaining one of the most powerful and transformative times of 2025, the eclipse season. We've got not one but two eclipses this month, and they are here to shake things up, bring endings, and open brand new doors. So today I'll be taking you through the astrology of both eclipses, what they mean spiritually, and how you can navigate this intense but magical energy and intensity. These eclipses are karmically linked back to the ones we had in 2016. So think back to what was going in your life around that September, March bit of 2016, because it's going to be linking up. So we are going to look at that too in the podcast. So because they're linked in, so there will be a cosmic continuation or even a part two of stories that were unfolding in your life 19 years ago. So the first eclipse that we've got is happening tomorrow, or the 8th. So I'll try and put this up tonight on the 7th. So it's happening Monday, the 8th at 4:11 a.m. That is in Pisces, the lunar eclipse. So our first eclipse this month, so it is in Pisces. This is one of the emotional and spiritual charged ones since it's been in Pisces. So the moon is going to make an opposition to Mercury in Virgo. So there's tension between our logic, our mind, and our emotional, intuitive side. So this energy might take us, or it might make us overthink things or want to analyze everything. But the eclipse is saying trust your intuition. It also might be wanting you to make and have everything sound perfect, be perfect as well, because it is in Virgo. So the moon is also close to the North Node, which makes this karmic turning point. So pay attention to what comes up in your dreams, signs, or sudden insights. There could be guiding you towards your soul path, because the node is your life lesson. The beautiful part of these eclipses is that the moon is also in trine to Jupiter, so it's bringing an element of luck to this eclipse. This brings a sense of spiritual protection, growth, expansion, even if things feel uncertain. There's hope, blessings, and a sense that the universe is nudging us forward in the right direction. Also, emotionally, you'll feel better with Jupiter. It's going to be in trine to the moon as well. It's going to give you a positive outlook. I do feel like it is going to be in a spiritual awakening. You might get more downloads since it's been in Pisces. If you are someone that suffers with addictions, you might get the kick to break the habit, to seek help, because Pisces does cover addictions and alcohol and all those things. So if you are someone has addicted to something, this could be the eclipse that really helps you to break that cycle. Themes of these eclipses are heightened intuition, spiritual awakening, letting go of old emotional patterns, and trusting the unseen. Okay. Because we've got positive aspects to the moon during this, I feel like you probably will see through scams that people are trying to sell you as well. So the connection to 2006 with this eclipse. So last time we had this eclipse in Virgo, Pisces axis was back in September of 2006. Think back to what was happening in your life then. Were you making changes around your health, work routines, or stepping deep into spirituality? This eclipse may bring similar themes back, but now with 19 years of growth and wisdom behind you. So later on in the podcast, we'll go through the actual themes that were happening in the world and what might be happening coming up now with these eclipses too. So the second one that we have is a solar eclipse, and that is happening in Virgo on the 22nd of September. And that's going to be at 5:54 a.m. Again, that is my time in Sydney. The second eclipse this month is a solar eclipse. And in Virgo on 22nd, this one is about new beginnings, but with a serious transformative edge. The sun and the moon are opposite Saturn and Neptune in this one. So this could be bringing up some delays, some hiccups, some problems. Emotionally, you might feel emotionally charged up during this one. You might be feeling perhaps a sense of unbalance coming up with it too. It's also with the Neptune, so it is creating a sense of a delusion or rose-colored glasses, or it even could be bringing up that something may even dissolve or an ending might be coming up in your life during this eclipse. So with these, so with some astrologers, I do say that Saturn builds not trust, but it's about boundaries as well and limitations. So about foundations. So so it could be that Saturn could be saying that if that's the case, I believe the problems, but we'll go double edge into what some others say. So do they work to build foundations? So while Neptune says trust the dream, dissolve the illusion, the opposite could make us feel pulled between reality and fantasy, but it's asking us to find a balance. Because I feel like it's going to be like an out of balance with this eclipse, the one later in 22nd. To dream big and also ground those dreams. The eclipse is also in trine to Pluto and to Uranus. So that's powerful. Pluto brings deep transformation, endings, and rebirth. Uranus brings sudden breakthrough, change of freedom. Together, they suggest that whatever beings begins now has the power to really transform your life. So with Uranus, it's like unexpected, unusual. Those are what it represents, the energy. Link that with the sun and the moon. It's something unexpected in your life happening, but this is going to be a good unexpected because they are in trine. So the planets are making a triangle sort of aspect as a positive. If they are making a square, that's a negative. So it's a triangle, so it will be a positive. Even the Pluto will be some sort of rebirth, but it's a positive. It could be a sense that you are looking at your growth, which could be spirituality, because we have those aspects in Neptune. We will have Uranus in that Gemini and Pluto in Aquarius. So it could be about you breaking free of things that are holding you back, whether it be society or your own belief systems. It could also be you needing maybe to gain more insight into your communities around you with that Pluto in Aquarius. With that Uranus there, it could be about you making a partnership with someone unexpectedly. It could even bring up even social aspects too with that. So there's a big transformation. I feel like that the solar eclipse happening on 22nd will be bigger than this lunar eclipse that's going to be happening tomorrow. So themes of these eclipses: new beginnings in health, work, routines, and service, but also big breakthroughs and the courage to step into a new version of yourself. So we've got the connection here to 2006. So we think back, we can connect them up. So the solar eclipse is especially powerful because it falls in the same date as the solar eclipse of the 22nd of September 22nd, 2006. So it's really like bringing in those themes there with that in Virgo. So it was the new beginning of a story, and now 19 years later, the universe is bringing you to the next chapter. Whatever sends your whatever seed you planted then in work, health, or daily life may now evolve into a radical transformative way. I know for myself, when I think back to that time, I was actually studying. So I was studying graphic design at Sydney Ultimo TAFE. I was doing my Cert 2 and Cert 3 graphic design. The thing I keep thinking back of what happened is that I was working. So 3 days a week I was at TAFE. 2 days a week I used to work with my friend. She got me a job. I needed a helper. So 2 days a week I would go in. And look, I wasn't it wasn't exciting work. I remember I was condensing 2 files into 1 file, and they actually blamed me for doing something wrong, which I didn't even do. It was something that was done when I wasn't even there. They were a bit of funny people there. And one thing that I don't like being blamed for something I didn't do. And I remember I was like showing them proof I wasn't here. But anyway, my friend, she can be a little bit just she has no issues with just leaving jobs. And I remember one day, would have been around this time actually, where she just rang me up and said, "Oh, I've left there. I'm not working there anymore." So I didn't turn up for work because I was only going to helping her out. It was her work. They never called me up, and I didn't hear from them. So I just didn't go back, and I just continued just having my TAFE 3 days a week. Um, so that's where that was happening around me at that time. I was actually getting excited and thinking I was going to be doing that one step closer, to be a graphic designer. And 19 years later, it has helped me. I remember once going to a reader and they said that I was studying it, that it will help you, but it won't be something that you do end up doing. And well, they were correct. So it helps me design promotional material. I do my flyers myself, my business cards. Everything that I do is done myself. Even at the Four Pillars, it's me and one of the other ladies that sort of do a majority of our promotional stuff. So it has helped me into getting insight on design, which I have used for all my jobs as well, I must say. Even working community, I'm the one that always ends up designing flyers and things that need to be done. So it has helped me. So yeah, but I'm in a different situation now where I'm no longer studying. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens in my life. So very good. So eclipse seasons are now times to manifest in the usual way instead of their portals. So it's what they're saying. I don't really believe in manifesting, as I've covered in my other episode. So but if you are, this is the things that you can do. They clear out. So eclipses essentially clear out services and set up a new path we're meant to walk. My advice for this month: stay grounded, journal what comes up, let go of control and trust process, pay attention to signs, synchronicities, and sudden shifts. And most importantly, be gentle with yourself. These eclipses are working with your soul's higher plan. So I'm going to now go into current world events that were happening back then, and we'll link it up now. So I've just ChatGPT'd this so to give us an overview of what actually happened. So ChatGPT, when I asked it to look at world events that happened back 19 years ago, with these eclipse links with the eclipses then to now, this is what it says. So eclipses in Virgo and Pisces often make cycles around health, service, healing, spirituality, and collective change. When we look back in 2006 and then compared to now, we can see a similar themes re-emerging because eclipses repeat in 18 to 19-year cycles. The nodal returns. So here are some of the 2006 themes versus possibles to now. So when we go now, we're looking at this year and next year, by the way. So collective world events that happened in 2006. Virgo, Pisces eclipses, when the world was focused on health systems and academics. So bird flu, fear, so another pandemic. So I can't sometimes I cannot get the certain words out. But you know what I mean. Bird flu, fears, vaccine, debates, whose involvement, so that the who involvement. So Virgo rules health and medicine, so it rules the 6th house. So, and we are seeing that already coming up now, and there's been a lot of debate over vaccines, especially with COVID, as we all know what happened then and how the mess that whole situation has created. If you're woken up, you'll know what I mean about that. Water and environment issues. Pisces ties into ocean, floods, and climate events. So 2006 saw major floods and water-related disasters globally. Spiritual movements and scandals. Exposure of religions or spiritual leaders to Pisces shadow side. So we may even find that out. It could be things against Christianity. But we're getting like that because we have Saturn come back into Pisces now. and that Neptune is making its way in, we are starting to see that more of that clash, and we're already starting to see that clash between, like, as an example, the Palestine and the whole Israel clash coming up now, and now everyone's getting involved because it's like, you know, of the protests, what they're doing, people are standing up for also with you know, where they are. I know in Australia there's been big ones clashing today on Bondi Beach, so that could be bringing up a heightened of that too. And there could be definitely a sense of spiritual leaders being uncovered, cults and things like that. So we've also got here so that 2026, so coming up, what might be happening. So the healthcare reforms, pandemics or breakthroughs, so new debates over medicine, natural health versus pharmaceutical, AI, and healthcare. I am one that believes that AI is going to be taking over a lot of jobs. I do feel that even like lawyers and doctors will be taken over by AI, is what I feel. And there is already discussions about the pandemic, as there was, versus, and there's also this big thing clash too between the pharmaceuticals and the health, the more the herbal natural medications. And for me personally, I do go more the natural route more than the pharmaceuticals. But when you do go that route, it is so expensive because it's not pharmaceutical based. So the government won't, for us, it will not discount the herbal stuff. So that may be coming up as a thing where people are going more to your alternate-based medicines and practitioners to get help with their health issues. So we've got here climate change, oceans with water shortages. Pisces brings collective focus on water and the environment. And I mean, there even could be more floods or more rain. I know from here, on Wednesday, they're forecasting 30 mils in Sydney, which is a lot for one day. So definitely some water events to do with water are going to come up this month or, during this cycle. Spirituality and disillusionment. So unveiling of fraud or spiritual wellness industries or rise in collective spiritual awakening. So definitely a rise. And I do feel like that there is, especially, I feel like especially next year, more so when Neptune goes into Aries, there's going to be a big outwash of spiritual people or people, so-called spiritual people, in how they are. There is so many in the industry. It is flooded, and like half of them, yeah, there's a big question mark over where they're at. And maybe they should be doing more courses too. But I'll cover more of that in a different episode. But definitely, I feel like it's going to be clearing out and more of an awakening of people who are in this industry, because it is a big thing at the moment. If you're in the industry, you'll know. So we've got here, so personal themes that you might be dealing with. So eclipses in Virgo, Pisces pull on an axis of reality versus dreams. Virgo side is daily routine, work, health, practical service, order. Pisces side, spirituality, creativity, compassion, escapism and endings, or I say dissolve, is what I sort of say. And even like, yeah, the escapism is very big. So personally, people often face shifts in work versus rest balance, so work-life balance, health or healing turning points, letting go of illusions and moving forward, moving towards being grounded, the grounded truth. So actually the reality that you're in more versus the delusional or sense of rose-colored glasses that you might be having on. A call to service or helping others or reconnecting with faith and spiritual practices could also be coming in for you. So think back to what was happening in 2006, 2007 for you. Those themes may echo and evolve around 2025 and 2026 when the cycle repeats. For me, 2007, I was looking more into spiritual paths, but I was sort of lost. I ended up in 2007 getting a job as a graphic designer. It didn't last. And yeah, it was a bit funny. Then 2008, I ended up working in community, and then I ended up stepping to spiritual side and actually doing courses as well. So I had a big shift in myself in my life and what I was doing. I moved away from corporate side of things and moved into more of a creative and community-based work life, which then led into spirituality as well. So I say nothing is, it's the life is sort of planned. When I think about that and how it led me, what I went through had to happen for me to learn astrology, even to meet the right person to teach me astrology. So think about what's happened to you. So that's it for today's episode of Spiritual and Cosmic with Lady D. I'd love to hear how you're feeling with these eclipses energies and whether you remember what was happening for you back in 2006. Share with me on Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok at Lady D Psychic. If it's on Instagram, it's Lady DS Psychic, or Facebook on Lady D Psychic Parties. I'd like, if you like a personal reading to see how these eclipses are affecting your chart, reach out. I'd love to guide you. And don't forget to check out my upcoming events, including the Psychic at Sea cruise and my psychic dinner night of mystical delights, which is in for the life can't speak Flamingos Live in up in Newcastle Way. Until next time, stay cosmic, stay connected, and trust the universe is guiding you through these powerful eclipses. So I'll see you next time.